Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the Game FourCast, the weekly gaming podcast where the four of us get together and chat about what we've been playing and our favourite news stories that we've found. My name's Josh, aka BottlerWorks. I'm here with Will Olivemeister.
Hello, my name is Will and/or Olivemeister. I forgot to come up with a joke again. I'm really sorry.
Quikwix, Steve.
Hi, my name is Steve, and I'm not here for a long time, but I am here for a good time.
And Sammeh.
Hi, I'm Sam, and that was a pleasant intro from.
I was going to say that was very tame, Steve.
he's
pleasant, nice. I like
tired
it.
of taking Steve's spotlight every week. He's letting you actually talk this time, Sam, without
Yeah,
cringing.
I was going to have an intro about raw dogging, but then I decided against it.
This is why we have no sponsorship, Steve. They've all been in talks with me, and they've all said, "I'm sorry, that Steve kid's got to go if you want to start advertising."
Oh shit! I did say I wasn't going to be here for a long time.
That's true. That's true.
Here's the check, but you got to drop Steve. Josh is like, no,
Oh shit! I'm getting a
absolutely
check.
not. We're all in this together.
It's the absolute opposite. It's like, yeah, just say when. Sorry, Steve, but these people are going to pay £25 for this next episode. You got to go.
Oh shit! Don't worry, we'll get in my twin Meave or something.
yeah. What would your name be backwards? Xiuq. Well, that sounded way better in my head.
Schmeven.
Schmeven will do.
Steven.
Schmeven. I'm not sure if I sound a bit rough. I've still got a bit of a cold.
You do sound rough.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna softball this one.
Just
you
be
sound
honest.
rough.
Yeah. I can't remember how long ago it was, but I feel like I literally just got over the C word. And
thanks for giving us the heads up though before we all met up. That was
I want to point
now
out
Aaron is ill and I'm getting ill, so
just want to point out I was fine at the time, and so was.
If I've learned anything from the internet this week, is that you don't need to tell anyone anything because seeing how people analyze the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp trial, I'm like, people will notice any little detail online.
Is that over? Who won?
They are doing the jury. They've finished the deliberations and stuff. It's now jury deciding stuff. So I think we'll find out on Tuesday when the podcast is out. So maybe.
Should we do predictions? Who wins? Amber Heard or Johnny Depp?
I'm hoping for trial by combat. Is that a thing?
That's funny.
That's the one thing where everyone seems to be talking about it, but I'm not following it at all.
Yeah.
Just I've been watching a lot of YouTube shorts, and most of them are dominated by that, and I'm like, it is so. Sometimes it's like, oh, they make good points. Sometimes it's like the amount of spiraling people will do to defend one over the other. Mostly Johnny, of course. And it's like they both seem like they're not great people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. From all the stuff I've seen, which isn't a lot, she seems bad, but I don't think he's a particularly nice person either. If all this is true, it's like neither of them come off well.
But everyone is like, Johnny is like an angel sent from the heavens. I'm like, is he though? They both seem bad.
It's like the whole thing we talked about before with corporations suing each other with infinite amounts of money, and they're both terrible corporations. It's like, waste all your money doing court battles. I don't care who wins. Just I'm not going to root for either of you. But it just seems like I go on Twitch or something, or like you say, like YouTube, and there's 140,000 people watching someone watch YouTube videos. Of Amber Heard.
Yeah, of Amber Heard. Yeah.
It's
I always like those shorts as well, where they're like, look, her eye twitches here, so it's clear that she's a psychopath.
Yeah,
fucking. Okay. I'm pretty sure. Calm down.
That's a mechanic in one of the Phoenix Wright games, I think.
That is,
I watched one.
Justice.
I watched one today where it was like, oh, in this video, when she's sniffling into this tissue, she's clearly snorting cocaine. And he's like, no. And someone else was like, no, she's not doing that. That would be illegal. She's probably just got vapor rub in there to make fake tears. And I'm like, oh my god, they are really
the conspiracy,
analyzing everything.
Can we talk about YouTube Shorts whilst we're on this rough discussion? Because
you mean our YouTube Shorts that you can see on our YouTube channel every Thursday and Saturday?
So I like making those shorts. I think it's really fun to encapsulate, a little bit of the podcast in a minute-long form. But I feel like on the app, if I press the YouTube Short button, it's like throwing 25 minutes down the toilet, where it knows exactly what to show me to keep me held on perfectly for that short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm never sure if I come away like knowing that I spent my time well or not. I don't know.
You mean watching other YouTube shorts? Because our ones are quality, of course.
Our ones are absolutely quality, and like I said, I love our shorts, even if it's just for. I don't want to throw. I like them as they are, as an individual thing. I'm not sure how I feel about them being thrown into some sort of algorithm to trap people for a really long period of time. I don't know. I'm kind of just like babbling here. But you, because I bring it up because you, Steve, you said you've been watching a lot of shorts now recently.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of them all?
I think that because TikTok wasn't for me because it just kept trying to be like, oh, this is UK stuff and this is football stuff, and I was like, it doesn't get me, it doesn't understand me. Whereas YouTube knows me inside and out. They'll know. Well, occasionally they'll throw like a curveball at me, and I'm like, that's definitely not something for me. Skip. But it will just keep. And as soon as you like find one, you watch it all the way through. You're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get like a bunch of this person's YouTube shorts, and the cycle keeps going. It is definitely dangerous. Although I will say, if you ever see ours in the in like the mix, make sure to like them. You know.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Same. It's just endless Peaky clips of Peaky Blinders for me. I don't understand it. We never talk about that show. I'm not a fan of that show. It looks all right, but I think I've watched every single season of the show in 60-second clips because
that's a lot of clips.
I don't understand. Yeah.
It's like for me, every single time I see a Minecraft one, instantly skip it because I'm like, I do not like it. They keep trying to put Minecraft in my feed. I'm like, no, that's as soon as you get one, you're going to get like 1,000. So I'm like, nope, that's just gone.
That's the one problem I find with these sorts of algorithms and the YouTube shorts actually as well, is that I'll watch a video and I'll like it. I think the current one is like, it's Reddit threads, but just text to speech.
Oh, I used to watch this, and I thought that was lazy, and I was like,
it's really like... So I agree, it's really lazy, but it's like it'll be a really clickbaity title. Yeah, and I'm like, well, I want to listen, and I've listened to like 2 or 3, and I'm like, okay, I'm done now, but it won't stop showing me more, even if I skip them. It's like, we'll get you back. We'll keep showing you until you listen.
Why is it? It's like this service that's supposed to be for you to show you interesting content. But you have to wrestle with it. What's that about? Yeah.
Well, the scary part
I feel like I boot up my YouTube homepage, and I just get annoyed. Where I'm like, no, I don't want to see that. There's a spoiler for a movie I haven't seen. There's a bunch of gun reviews. I'm English. I don't have a gun. I don't understand.
Those are popping up for me, and I'm like,
someone's like, the best rifle from World War I. We tested them, and I'm like, what?
This isn't a short thing, but the one week where Sam talked about that Final Fantasy IV randomizer, I can't remember what it was called, but I remember immediately.
Yeah, Free Enterprise.
Yeah, Free Enterprise. Immediately after the podcast, I went on YouTube and I saw a video recommended to me, which was Free Enterprise. I was like, are they listening?
Yeah, this is a 5-person podcast. There's YouTube's listening in the background.
Mr. YouTube is here.
Yeah, Mr. YouTube is always here.
I was like, I don't really have many any at all like randomizer stuff other than like Zelda ones.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, just randomly, there was the Free Enterprise, and I was like, it kind of creeps me out how like they listen. I know it's like an actual thing where they actually do listen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like we can hear all our listeners, right, Gary?
And then just let
good odds I got someone there.
Yeah, I'm letting it. You let it sink and like just be quiet so that Gary can just freak out for a second.
I know several of the people who do listen to the podcast. So I'm like, I could actually name names, but I won't out you.
Steve knows everyone. He's got his fingers in all the pies. Don't you, Steve?
That's a trap.
Yeah,
you're trying to get me.
Don't take the bait. Did everyone do their homework? Did everyone watch Obi-one?
Yep.
No, I don't.
Fresh too. I watched it like 2 hours before.
I don't watch TV. Sorry.
Do you mind if we talk about it for 5 minutes?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to say skip forward 5 minutes if you want to skip like Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 1 and 2 spoilers. I'm watching an hour at a time, so you'll be fine. But yeah, we'll start talking about it now. You two that watched it, what did you think? I really enjoyed it.
I was surprisingly enjoyed it, but my favourite thing from it is the fact that in episode 2, little child Leia outruns several grown men several times.
I'm glad. I thought the exact
out loud at that scene.
It happens twice.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a bit where she's running along a little gully. She runs under a tree, and the woman chasing her just full tilt runs into the tree and go like, "Oh, what a surprise! There was a tree in the way," and that made me laugh out loud.
So funny. I know she's supposed to be 10, but
she looks like a toddler though.
She looks like a toddler. I have three nieces. I have three nieces that are all girls, and they're aged 6, 4, and 3. 6, 4, and 2. Might be wrong. One of them's 6, and the 6-year-old looks like Leia, basically, like similar age.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you've ever chased a child of that age. They cannot run with any kind of speed.
Gosh, why are you chasing children?
Oh, it's called playing with your nieces, Steve. I can calm down.
It was weird. I don't know. I liked it, but I was like, I wish they didn't tie it into original, the old characters. You know? I don't know.
Well, it's the ultimate bait, right? Because even if the first and second episode were absolutely dog shit terrible, they could stream along every single watcher just by the fact that at some point Darth Vader's going to fight Obi-Wan Kenobi again.
Yeah.
Because it's bait, right? It's like, all you fans want this, we're going to do it. It's going to be the last episode weeks from now.
Which is good because there were no fights in these first 2 episodes, really.
I feel
apart from a couple scuffles.
I do like the idea that he's just not forgotten everything, but he's rusty.
Yeah.
You know, where it's
I really like that moment where he got into a fist fight and was like, "Oh yeah, punching people really hurts." Yeah.
Well, he hasn't punched anyone in 10 years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I will say, while watching it, all I could think of was how they must have scraped through every single Star Wars movie, being like, what can we put a reference in? You know, there's probably references that even I don't get, because I'm a mid-tier Star Wars fan. I watch the movies, I'm not obsessing over them like some people.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking they must have scraped, but it is actually very good. I was for Boba Fett, the first couple of episodes a bit dull, not gonna lie, but this one I'm fully in.
Yeah.
I thought the first episode, I wasn't in on the first episode just because it's Tatooine again. It's
I'm fed up.
They're doing this split story between Kid Leia, who she's good, but I don't feel like I need to know that story. Yeah.
Does Leia at any point when she's older in the original trilogy ever mention any of this?
No.
So it's just okay.
She mentions where she's from, right? But I don't know.
I didn't know if there was an off comment in the original movies, oh, Ben Kenobi, oh yeah.
No, I don't think this is a big brain play. I think this is an awkward shoehorn more than anything.
Yeah.
There's no reason it couldn't happen, and they can always just go oh, memory wipe.
I was gonna say they'll do a memory slug or something. Eats their brains.
Yeah. No, I do agree that some of it is kind of forced, I guess, but I don't think it's affecting my enjoyment.
I get it. Good one. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even mean to do God, I'm smart.
I love the big bad guy, and I was very sad to see that he died in the second episode.
Yeah.
I didn't see
that coming.
I love that guy. That actor was just hamming it up all over the place. I loved it. When he's just giving the lecture on why Jedi are he was doing his own little, what's the guy from Inglourious, where he's the Jew hunter, giving his speech. He was doing that, but in a cafe about Jedi. It was great. I was so entertained by that guy. And then they murk him right at the end of the second episode.
He has the look of a full season antagonist.
I didn't look. It made me uncomfortable. I was
that's good. That's what you want from a villain, though.
He's a horrible Sith.
Because the other villain, the angry girl,
I like her.
I didn't like her at all.
Oh, she wasn't
I
like her.
No, she's going to be.
She wasn't menacing.
She's going to be the long-running antagonist. So.
Yeah, and she sucked.
Right, start wrapping it up because we've got about 15 seconds.
Obi-Wan, yeah. I mean, it's Ewan McGregor. It's okay. He's good.
Obi-Wan, yeah. Steve says watch it. I reckon it's good enough. It's
Kumail Nanjiani, not as ripped as he was, but still looking pretty good.
Ewan McGregor being Ewan McGregor. Sick. All right, we'll move on. We'll move on from that then. Apart from Obi-Wan, just not going to go into any major spoilers, but lots of good TV on at the moment. Stranger Things season 4.
I'm enjoying it. It feels like season 1 again.
It's really good. We're 2 episodes in. Absolutely great. Really enjoying that.
I think I'm 4 episodes in.
We watched Jackass 4.5 as well after your recommendation.
Was that after my recommendation? Yeah.
That was so funny.
The best skit was the one where
the ladder bit.
Sledgehammers out the ladder from under him. It's so simple. It's
called like,
stupid.
hi, I'm, what's his name, Poopies.
Yeah.
He's standing on a big ladder with a sledgehammer, and it's like, hi, I'm Poopies, and I'm going to show me. And then just sledgehammers the ladder below him and falls over.
Yeah, and just falls like 3 feet onto his face. It's just, simple, stupid. That's my favorite part of Jackass. Is those little skits. Yeah.
But yeah, so let's get on to what some people have been playing this week. What have you been playing, Steve?
Oh, okay. I've been playing Little Witch in the Woods.
Never heard of it.
No.
It is an early access game.
Those are everywhere at the moment.
Yeah.
That one. Oh, the early access game.
no, but it's early access. I think I've heard somewhere that it's like 5 hours out of like the 20-hour game it's going to be.
Right.
But yeah, this game, it's a nice little story game. It's got a bit more like adventure, like it's because you play a little witch named Ellie, I believe, and she has a hat that talks to her, who's kind of like the straight man to her like craziness.
Yeah.
And she's like an apprentice witch, and you go into the you get stuck in this woods where there's a village, and the whole premise of the story is that you have to rebuild up this village because like there's evil vines that have taken over it, and it's very charming. It is apparently they've been working on a lot of like feedback from the game, so it's like because every single time. Like, for me, I found it, like, every single time you do anything in the game, there is an animation for it. Like, you pick up something off the ground, it's her literally picking something up off the ground, which feels a bit slow. But they're working on it, and it's very charming. It feels like almost like an scaled, like, DS game, almost, or, like, Game Boy game.
I've got to say, for anyone that's watching and can see the Steam page, I'm going through the screenshots. This art, in my opinion, this is amazing. I love this art.
It's very charming.
I thought I thought the, like... this general scenarios and stuff looked, okay, pretty good. And then it showed let me find a screenshot, these portraits.
Yeah.
I really like that art style, especially in pixel art. It just looks really nice.
It's but yeah, like in the game, you can there's like potion crafting and candy making, but they are like magical candies, and
like drugs.
And you have like a witch encyclopedia, and to put entries into it, you actually have to go around and like you're just pressing a button, but you actually have to draw like any like plants or animals you find in this book. So they're not so easy all the time. Like you have to like there's like a progress bar, but you got to make sure you're still the thing that you're capturing is still enough.
Is that it here?
No, that's the potion making on screen at the moment.
This one.
Yeah, like that.
Witch encyclopedia.
Witch encyclopedia. Yeah.
Yeah, witch encyclopedia.
And then the potion making is very like it. You find recipes. You have to like crush up the ingredients and then make sure you're putting in the right ingredients and setting the temperature right and stirring the pot right. It's not too difficult, but it is very fun. And I will say the first like 10-20 minutes of the game, there is a lot of talking. It kind of just like throws you in the middle of a conversation. And there's a lot of talking, and then you get to the actual like gameplay. Yeah, but it's kind of like also Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, where the villages each have like friendship, and you have different like dialogue options, and there's like side quests and all sorts. It's very charming and very fun. I've enjoyed my time with it, and I can't wait for the main release of the game.
I want to wishlist this when it's over.
It's on at the moment it's on Game Pass, so you can play this for free. Well, it's on Well, not for free, but
it is.
I miss this.
But it's like £15 otherwise, I believe. Sometimes with early access games,
$12.40, which is probably $14 or $15. Yeah, I imagine.
I will say sometimes with early access games, they do increase the price when they release. So
yeah, they normally go up slightly, don't they?
If it's on Game Pass now, it's probably going to be on Game Pass on full release as well. So
I found that a few games that launch on Steam and Game Pass at the same time, early access, the Game Pass versions just don't get updated. I've
noticed that. Yeah.
There was I don't know if it's still on there, but there was the Junji Ito like manga, the like horror manga.
Mm-hmm.
World of Horror.
There was a game called World of Horror. That was early access, and it was on Game Pass, and it got a bunch of updates, and the Game Pass version just never got updated, and I was really sad about that because I wanted to play more, but didn't want to pay whatever it was for the full game.
Yeah,
so I wonder if it's a Microsoft certification.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
they'll just wait now until full release or something.
But it could have been
that is weird.
Yeah, that, or at the same time, maybe the guy had no obligation to update that version of it. It was like, here's here's that version of it. So, but you recommend this?
I would. It feels like almost like Stardew Valley, but there's no farming in this one. And the stuff that they said that they're going to add, I think they said they're going to add a little bit of prequel to the game, and then like a bunch of like end game stuff, not end game stuff, but like more story at the end. So yeah, it's very fun and charming. As I said, it's just it's not too intensive. It's a game that anyone could play.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for good pixel art.
I will say one thing that, because I hate reading dialogue. I'm like, every game
reading's for losers. When you think about it.
I just want voice acting, please, but I doubt it's going to get voice acting. But it would be so good with voice acting.
Reading in 2022, I thought we were past that now.
And I will say, at the point of the game I am at, they're like giving me like daily, well, not because there is like a day and night cycle where you go to bed like in Harvest Moon, where you go to bed by 10, or if not, you wake up the next day with less stamina and stuff.
Yeah.
So some of the daily quests are like, craft 10 of these candies or something, which is so you got to do quite a lot of gathering.
You mean in-game days, not in-game real life?
Yes,
okay, you nearly lost me then.
Oh, yeah.
You were really
That's
close.
That's funny because you nearly got Sam.
No. I was like, no. Please, no.
No.
There's this really cute, like, not Stardew Valley, but pixel art gathering witch game, and also here are your fucking dailies and weeklies.
No.
Make sure you log in.
Make sure you finish the battle pass before you miss all the prizes.
No, none of that. But I'm just saying, like, that you need to do a lot of gathering, but also you have limited inventory. You do have like a bank, but so you got to kind of manage that. There is more inventory slots, but I haven't found out how to unlock them yet. I assume it'll be like through the town, because we're in the town that you're like building. It's like the first person you try to like help get back is like the carpenter, to once you get rid of the vines to like help build the houses back up. And I assume like you just unlock more features as you keep going, which is quite nice.
Cool. Do you have anything else to add to your show and tell? Or?
Not really. Just like, this is a very charming game, and I feel like everyone should play it.
Yeah, I'm going to download this as soon as we're done.
I think it'd be good on Switch as well, but it's early access, so who knows if it's coming to
That's the great thing. I know we keep banging on about it week after week, but that's the great thing about Game Pass, because this has just gone from, I'm going to put it on my wish list on Steam, to, I'm just going to play it.
I'm going to go play this.
I'm just going to go play it. Cool. What have you been playing, Sam?
So I've held off playing VRising.
Oh, that's good, because that's
orcs.
Spoilers.
That might turn out to be a multiplayer game. I don't know yet, so I'll just sort of put it on the back burner. I can resist. What
I'm
the
same, yeah.
The crack that I have been given from my friends is another idle game.
Oh, another one.
Oh, God. I'll check out. I'm going to go get a drink.
This one has fully consumed me. It's called Your Chronicle.
Your Chronicle.
Yeah. It's... I would say... from the get-go, the aesthetics is very similar to the Increlution one that I was talking about.
Oh my god! God!
I forgot how it looks like now. I play in dark mode because everything in dark mode.
My eyes.
It sounds like playing Spreadsheet Simulator again.
Yeah, it's just so good. These games are just like crack to me. I can't help it. It's just numbers go up, spreadsheets, then it's got a little combat section, but it's also got a story that you have to meet parameters to get to, so you have to manage leveling up and gathering and stuff like that, and it's all of these game mechanics, but obviously there's no visuals for it, it's just spreadsheets, but it's Oh, I love it,
mate. You're like not going to dox you or anything, but you're going from your one job to another that you start soon, which is probably going to be a lot more spreadsheet based and stuff like that. You're going to be in your fucking element. This is what you do in your spare time.
Say, Sam's going to run the company by the end of the week.
Yeah.
Honestly, I picked this up and I was like, oh, idle game. So I'll have this on the other screen, start playing some other stuff. But I just keep playing it, and then I find myself not playing other games.
I have a question. How is this one different to the last spreadsheet simulator you played? Because the screenshot did not tell you the difference.
The last one I played, you literally started the game and you were dying, and you had to do X amount of actions before you died, and then when you died, it had a roguelike element where you start again, but you keep some benefits over from the previous runs, right?
Right.
So, like a roguelike, it constantly you get stronger and stronger and further to hit an endpoint. This one has the very typical idle game mechanic of you choose to. It's not called reincarnate, but I'm just going to call it that.
Yeah, prestige, reincarnate.
Prestige is probably the easiest word for it. And then it resets a lot of your levels to 0, but you keep a lot of the bonuses, so you then start working on those levels again to get them back up. But you don't lose your story progress or anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just so. I know that this is just the type of game that's good for me, but number go up, brain feel good.
Yeah. For anyone that can't see who's listening, the top review for this game is just number go up, brain feel good, and I'm making that very big.
There's so many numbers that can go up, but it's so simple, and there's very clear goals in it as well. Like, you can go and do this, but you can't complete it yet because you're not strong enough. So get strong enough to do this.
I can't wait for next week when Sam says, I've been playing Microsoft Excel.
No, I don't play EVE Online.
But, nice.
No, there are games I want to play, but this is just that game where I've played it and I'm like, I have done nothing but play this game for the past 3 days. It's fortunate I made plans to go out last night, otherwise I wouldn't have left the fucking house. It's just crazy.
Once again, same thing with Increlution. I'm glad you're having a fun time. I don't get it.
Oh, yeah. And again, I completely understand that, there is a very small portion of people out there that love this game like this that I'm in, and I understand 99.999% of people I speak to will be like, so there's numbers and a box. What else? And I'm like, no, that's just it.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
At least this one's free.
It's actually free, this one. I can't find the price because I've zoomed in so far on this page. There it is.
So this one was recommended to me. I came back and there was 3 people playing it in the Discord that I hang out in. It was just there okay, I'll give it a go. And I have not stopped.
It just sounds like 3 people taking drugs. You just walk in on them, and they're like, "You want to take drugs too?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Sure, why not?" And then you lost 3 days. Like you're just talking about drugs.
But, I would have probably spoke about VRising, but someone's thrown out that may be happening next Thursday.
I think everyone's playing VRising at this point. I know so many people who have I've gotten.
I want to get into it. I want to get into it, but then some people are like, oh yeah, I'm waiting. Oh yeah, I want to play with people. So I'm like, all right, okay, I'll hold off. I'm gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm giving people a week now. If we get to this point next week and I haven't played with friends, I'm going solo.
No, it's gonna.
I can't hold off much longer.
It's gonna get to a point where we've arranged, obviously, a little thing for Thursday, and I feel like I'm gonna turn up, and everyone's gonna be there to play it, but everyone's played it already, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah.
I mean, I specifically asked our friend that's played it a lot recently, and he said that when you play on a different server, you can't carry anything over. You make a fresh character.
Oh,
It's not
okay.
like Goalkeeper.
So the only thing people who have played the game will have is knowledge.
Yeah, but you can't leave your knowledge behind, can you?
You can if you take enough drugs.
That's true. Yeah, if you play enough your Chronicle before we start,
so
maybe
people can play it as much as they like. My thing is, I don't want to go and grind it all out, and then we do this, and then I'm like, oh, I've got to do all the starting stuff again, and
yeah.
So I'm saving.
Well, this is awkward because my game this week is VRising.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I saw you playing it, and I was
feel like I'm getting called out here.
I made my piece that I was going to hold.
Yeah.
The only thing I will call you out on is you are the person that called Thursday to play VRising, and then I was like, he's playing VRising, you know, and it's like
It's like Saturday morning. He's playing VRising. Saturday evening. He's still playing VRising. Sunday morning. He's playing VRising.
That's a good sign. If you'd have just dropped it, I'd be like, "Oh, that's not gone well."
Yeah, well, yeah. I have no words to my defense. We were talking about playing VRising, and then I'd requested a key for it, and then we were like, "Yeah, we'll get around to that." And I was like, "Yeah, they're not responding. I'll buy a copy and we'll play it eventually." And then they sent a key to me randomly Friday afternoon, and then I was like, "Well, Aaron, I'll since I got it for free, I'll buy you a copy." And then Aaron got home and was like, we should try it out just to make sure it works." And here I am. Let me check my playtime.
Loving life.
24 hours later. There is some idle time.
This sounds like drugs again.
It is. So VRising, if you don't know, is one of them survival crafting games. And if I wanted to be like super reductive, I would say it's a survival crafting game, except like they remembered to make it fun, you know?
That's good.
Because this is made by, I can't remember the name of the studio, but they made BattleRite
Game Dev. Oh, I love BattleRite. Okay, now
it is Stunlock Studios.
Stunlock Studios, I believe. I could be completely wrong. I'm pretty sure Stunlock Studios are the guys behind.
I think they are. I think I've heard this before. Let's have a look here. Stunlock.com. We're trawling through the internet, people.
Champions.
BattleRite,
doing it live.
And so BattleRite was like a sort of more action version of a MOBA, like
a MOBA battle royale.
Yeah, but instead of like click to move, you were using WASD, and all your skills were like hotkeys.
It wasn't like there was a battle royale version of it, and there was an arena fighter version of it. There was never like a MOBA, I don't believe.
Yeah. Okay, yes, but it's like League, except you're playing with WASD and you use hotkeys.
Well, they made BattleRite. So it says here they're two different games. It's BattleRite and BattleRite Royale.
And that's the battle royale.
The battle royale. Did BattleRite, the original one? Sorry to derail. Did that close down? Or am I going crazy?
No, I don't think so.
I think they stopped supporting it. I think
maybe. I'm so zoomed in. Okay, yeah, you carry on.
And so the moving around and the combat in this is it's top down perspective, and it's like similar to Diablo, but it's more similar to like the Diablo console version, which is almost like a twin stick shooter version of Diablo. Instead of click to move, you're using WASD, and you have a bunch of skills and stuff. And it's a fairly typical survival crafting, base building game, with the exception that it's all about vampires. So there's the twist of going out in the daytime is very deadly in a way that I kind of like, but also is kind of annoying because the whole idea of the game is, you go out, you get resources, you build stuff to make you stronger, you go out to harder places to get more resources, etc. forever. But this game has like really cool boss fights, which is how you increase your. So it's similar to Valheim.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's like similar to Valheim and stuff like that, where the idea is to get strong enough to fight a boss. You kill the boss, he drops the technology to build better stuff to fight the next boss and stuff. And some of these bosses are really, really elaborate. They're like they're not like WoW raids, but they do have unique mechanics. Like there was a
Nice.
guy early game who, in his base, there was a bunch of like armor stands, and when you interacted with them, it made you invincible. And we were like, that's kind of weird. I don't know what that's about. And then during the fight, the boss fight, he starts putting all these mines down. And it's like, oh, one of us grabs an armor. It's me. I'm playing with my girlfriend. And it's like, oh, one of us grabs one of these armor things. We go invincible and we run around setting all these mines off to clear space so we can keep fighting him. And it's like a soft enrage where eventually the arena fills up with mines and stuff. So it's like, and the combat is all like cooldown skills, kind of, like a league, and you have ults, and it's all like based on your gear, so weapons will have different skills and stuff, so you can kind of make your builds that way, and it's just really good. It's really fucking good. It's like because where I always bounce off these survival crafting games is like, you take something like Valheim, and like the combat doesn't really get more fun beyond, you build an axe and then you build a stronger axe, but you still just kind of like, I just kind of click guys and then they die, and that's basically it. I might get a bow at some point. But this is like, you're sort of building your MOBA character out as you unlock more spells and gear and stuff. And they have like, and then they actually test you. Like some of these bosses get pretty hard, and you can, if you want like more of a challenge, you can take on higher level bosses before you've got the gear for it, which like shortcuts you. Or you can wait, gear up and then fight them when you're higher level, so it's less mechanics intensive. And it's just a really, really fun feedback loop.
I have a couple of questions.
Go fight boss, grab loot, come back.
Right, I got a couple of questions. First of all,
okay,
is the world set for every player, or is it randomly generated every time?
It could be generated, but I believe it's set.
Okay.
There are named locations we're going to. So.
And is the combat more like sort of Diablo with lots of enemies, or is it smaller encounters that are...
No, you'll often be fighting like 4 or 5 guys at a time max. There are some swarm type of enemies, right, that go a bit bigger, but no, for the most part it's very it'll be like here's 4 guys, one of them's an archer that shoots in a line, one of them throws bombs that you have to avoid. So like every fight is like, dodge this AoE and this line attack and stuff like that, and use your stun on this guy when he tries to do something and stuff like that. So it's all, and that's another thing where it's like, mobs have levels and stuff. So you can, after a while, you'll just be fighting through guys and like they're nothing. And stuff like
Steve
that.
was very generous to give me a key to this. So I will get round to playing this at some point. But this is this does, for me, at least right now, feel very similar to Valheim in that this massive thing is taking off.
Yeah.
And I, as of right now, have no idea what it is outside of what you've just told me.
So I've seen a couple things on Twitter about this. I've seen that apparently the sunlight mechanic is very well done, but doesn't add any fun to the game.
Yeah, that's kind of where I come from, because it's like you're playing as a vampire, right? So staying out of the sun is kind of a big deal. Yeah, sun bad, yeah. But it is kind of like, because you'll be doing all your base stuff, and then you'll be like, right, I've crafted my new set of armor. Who's our next boss? Let's go fight him. Oh, wait, it's just gone morning.
Yes, now you have to wait.
I guess I'll just go make a sandwich and wait, because there's no...
the rain in the wild.
Yeah, exactly. And like, some bosses are in their own little arena, like enclosed arena, so the sun doesn't matter, which is good. But some bosses they'll be like outside in a courtyard, and then they have so many mechanics that's like, this guy's going to throw bombs that like cover the whole arena, and you have to dodge very specifically. But also, if you stay in the sun for more than 3 seconds, you just burn to death like insanely fast. So it's just like, all right, well, we're just not going to fight this guy until nighttime. So it's like, it is kind of fun, and sort of essential to the idea of being a vampire. But I don't know, maybe at some point you get a technology or an item which is like, I just wish it was night right here for the next like 10 minutes while we fight this
some sunscreen.
Some sunscreen or something.
You acquired an umbrella.
So
yeah.
The other thing I've heard about this game is because this game is early access, and I've heard people say like after a while you can tell it's early access. Like there are features or stuff missing. Have you come across that? Yeah.
Not in the 24 hours playtime I have on this game so far.
Okay.
There's a boss like track. So like if you'll find a lot of bosses just by exploring. But if you are after a specific one, you have a thing in your base which is once you have a certain item level, like it calculates based on how much gear you have, what your item level is, and it'll say, oh, this guy's within 4 levels of you. So if you want to fight him, just click this button and we will give you like, it's called like blood scent or something. And it's like, just, he's over in the west, just follow this and it will lead you to him eventually, sort of thing. The map isn't that intricate that we've really had a problem finding people, but yeah, so far we've gotten like 2/3 of the way through all the boss tracks, and
that's good for like 24 hours.
We're still, and there's still whole areas on the map we haven't been to yet, which is
plus it's early access as well. So
we've been talking a lot about like the combat and stuff, but this also has like building as well, right?
Yeah. So, but that's just it's basic base building, except a castle.
So I've got some questions about that. I think it ties into that. The main complaint I've seen about this from going to different places and like reading comments is apparently it doesn't respect your time, and there's quite a lot of like, I don't know if it's specifically time gated, but that's just what is that. Does that ring any bells with you and your experience? Some people have said it's quite late game, so I don't know.
Yeah, kind of. Well, so what I think this is there is also so me and Aaron are just playing us two co-op PvE, like, whatever. But there is an option to make a server and then have it completely PvP, like full loot, destroy everyone's stuff, kind of.
Yeah, I've seen people compare it to Rust.
A kind of Rust. I can't imagine this game. I can't imagine playing this game where somebody could just break in and take all my stuff. I don't think I would. I wouldn't play it for long,
That's called real life. That could happen to you at any point. If
yeah, pretty much. But so I think like I don't know how customizable the servers are because I let Aaron do it and I didn't touch any of that.
Yeah.
But it does kind of feel like there's things in here to promote like PvP. Like you said, like a lot of things take a while to build.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, if you want to get better armor, it's going to take a little time to smelt a bunch of iron, for instance. And like, oh, that's so other people can attack you and stuff like that. So you can't just instantly farm back up to the best gear, sort of thing. And similarly, there are fast travel points on the map, but you can't fast travel while holding like resources.
Oh, okay.
And which is like, I don't know how I feel about that either, because on the one hand, I like the idea of exploring, and the more you're out in the world, the more like, oh, we just ran into this boss by accident, sort of thing. But it does also feel kind of forced in that if everyone could just teleport everywhere, there'd be no danger of like world PvP almost, like you won't get ambushed on the road if you can just teleport back to your base whenever you want with all your riches, sort of thing.
I do feel like though, going forward in the future, for as great as the game is obviously with yours and Aaron's experience, I think this game will find its longevity in like the not weird, but like the Rust version of the game, with like persistent servers and
that's what's popping off right now. People are loving the full loot PvP. And the combat in this, everyone is like praising the combat in it.
Yeah, because it's like it's basically their kind of MOBA fighting, right? So it's like, the combat is just really good.
What if we took the combat everyone liked in our MOBA and make like a more open world game with it?
Yeah, definitely.
Crafting survival game.
The only thing is, I just don't think the world is. It doesn't feel like like how Rust is massive.
Yeah,
and you can just build anywhere. This doesn't feel big enough to support like big factions, and like I feel like it's the two of us, and already the world sort of, if there was like another duo right somewhere else and we kept running into them, I feel like we would be fighting for resources all the time.
I kind of like that. I like the idea of like your neighbors are horrible in this game, and then you can see their castle from where you are. And you're like neighbors from hell, those like TV shows where it's like my asshole of a neighbor vampires over there keep stealing my shit.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. And like we haven't engaged with any of the PvP stuff because we don't have to because there's no one out there. So like I don't know how that kind of functions, but it just feels like we got to a new area and we just moved our castle from the starting area to this new area, and I feel like this second zone that we're in, we can be in any part of it within like 2 minutes run, you know? There's doesn't feel like there's any room for like coexisting with other people, you know? It's I don't know. It's
a couple of things about the servers is apparently each server can hold like up to 60 players.
That is ridiculous.
That's a lot of people.
60 players.
Yeah.
There's not enough room for that.
There's public servers and then there's private servers. And private servers can either be hosted by someone, you know, their PC, or you can rent a server apparently as well, like a fully persistent one.
Wait, can you not just?
You'd have to, because otherwise, how would you support 60 people if you just log off and shut the server down?
I suppose you just you run your own server, get your own server PC or your own server rack or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, and just have that running at all times. That's what people do in Minecraft and stuff. So
yeah, we probably know like a bunch of people who could play this. Like, and we'll have to see like if there's enough interest, maybe we could get like a Game FourCast server running. Maybe
I was thinking like that. Yeah, I was just thinking like between, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's Steve and Will, between the two of you and the communities that you have.
No, it's all Sam's fans.
Yeah, it's all Sam's secret Twitter fans that he won't reveal to us. You could get a lot of people to play this. For sure.
I don't understand. I don't understand how it would support 60. Honestly, once you get in and play it, you'll understand what I mean. It's like
I'm now
60 people. The map feels small and there's 2 of us.
I've had the game for like 2 days now. Whenever Steve gifted it, and this is the most hype I've felt towards it. I'm now actually excited to check this out.
Holy shit! It even just like I know people are saying like like PvP is popping and all that, but like. Just running around the 2 of us is so much fun. The combat is so good. The boss fights are so great. The crafting is like a little intensive, maybe, because it feels geared to be real time. Right. But, yeah. Oh my god, it's so much fun.
No, I look forward to playing it. Have you got any closing comments or?
Fire sucks. Stunlock nerf fire. It's ridiculous.
Fire does suck.
Fighting a guy, he'll set you on fire and lose like 3/4 of your health or something. It's dumb. Stop it.
I think the main thing to remember is this is still early access, so there might still be like some stuff that they're going to fix.
Oh, I'm sure there will be.
Based on feedback.
I would hope that they would change the game if it's in early access. Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying there's meant to be stuff that they're going to add,
Well, coming off that then, I guess I'll go straight into my game of the week. If we're done with VRising, I will start typing in here. But on, what was it? It was Thursday. Was it Friday? Friday. Will and I played Sniper Elite 5.
Woohoo! I'm double dipping this week. Sniper Elite.
Now you can talk about this as well.
Yeah.
So this is here on Steam. It's 45 quid. But we played the Game Pass version, which is exactly the same, just without pre-order season passes and that. I went into this with literally 0 expectations.
Pretty much the same.
I think I saw a Reddit thread before we played that was like for reviews. Yeah. And it was like high 70s, 80s on average. And I was like, okay, maybe it won't just be a 4-hour meme session. Maybe
because this is always like all I know of Sniper Elite is like, oh, it's the game where you shoot Hitler in the balls and then you watch them explode like a Mortal Kombat fatality.
Yeah, basically,
right?
Yeah. But yeah, so we played this for probably about 5, maybe 6 hours.
Yeah.
I loved it from start to finish. I thought it was. Yeah. What was you gonna say, Steve? Yeah.
I was gonna say it's shocking. Josh likes a game where you play as a sniper.
Oh, I'm in my element. It's so much fun. So just to set up what this game is. So there are 9 missions and you play as, I'm going to say just a guy. Because
John Sniper.
There is a story. There are characters with names. Don't worry about it. It's not important. If anything, it's the worst part of this game. It's a completely irrelevant story. I was going away to get cups of tea and make food during.
I was like, the cutscene would start and I'd be like, all right, I'm getting a drink stream. Enjoy that. I'll be back.
Be right back. But yeah, there's 9 missions. They're very open. It's like a big open map. Even the smaller ones, where you're like, oh, this looks a bit more linear. It'll be like a big fucking castle or something with a million floors, and it's still really open. So it's a whole bunch of open maps, and you get given an objective. Normally, the objective is to go somewhere and either kill someone or pick something up, and then extract. But there are AI everywhere, and as Will said, the main mechanic is that you're a sniper, and that when you shoot dudes, occasionally you get really cool slow-mo. There'll be a screenshot here somewhere. There must be a screenshot of the slow-mo. There's one. That's a horrifying screenshot. You get slow motion shots of people's like chests just exploding, and that sounds gross, but it's really cool in the moment.
And the tech alone is like that's impressive.
And it's set up so you can play it like an action game, so you can run through like just sniping quickly and submachine gunning Nazis, or you can play it as a stealth game. Every time we tried to play it in stealth, it didn't. I feel like it didn't really work. I think it had some problems with stealth.
Yeah, I don't know if there was some mechanic we weren't understanding, or we were just really bad at it. Like, because we weren't great. We weren't great at stealth, but I feel like we would like trip one guy, and then the whole map was like, all right, it's fighting time, I guess. There's John Sniper over there. We're gonna fuck him up.
Oh, it's your normal stealth shit, right? Yeah, they don't know where you are. Then there's like caution mode, where they all turn yellow, and then there's alert, where they're all red. They don't know where you are. And it felt like whenever you set them into yellow, they would never leave.
Yeah, they would just keep pouring in, wouldn't they? Yeah.
Which just felt like, I'm trying to stealth. I messed up. I get that, but I want to go back. Let me try again. I didn't get you never get like a second try.
Yeah,
they're now constantly running around like, oh, he's here somewhere. Oh.
Yeah, so there's alarms going off and stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, we played that. The whole campaign is playable co-op, which is why me and Will were playing. So you can play 2-player. That's really fun. Just going around doing synchronized shots for 5 minutes and then playing like Rambo for the rest of it.
They know as well, because there's so many bits where it's like two guys having a conversation next to each other. We would constantly be like, all right, I'll get the left guy, you get the right guy, let's go. Like, yeah, they know what they're doing.
The key part that's really stuck with me, that I'm going to be talking most about, I think, during this, is a mode in the game called Invasion, which, if you've ever played a Souls game, like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, whatever.
Or Deathloop.
Deathloop, where you can invade someone else's game to try and kill them. That's in this. So, as Will and I were playing, we would get invaded. And it says in the corner, like, you are being invaded. And you don't know when it starts, you don't know where they are, they don't know where you are. So, because the maps are really open, it really puts you on edge. Because you're just where's the actual real player running around? It could be anywhere. And most of the time, we did okay. But there's a few times, we got sniped, and that's kind of cool, where it's just like, you get sniped from the player that's just got a better angle, things like that. But it's just really fun. And that's what really changed the game from, like, decent to really good. I love that mechanic. It's made me realise that just put that in everything.
I was gonna say, I want invasion mechanics in like all single player games from now on. It elevated the game so hard. Like I was like, but having a good time. We were doing that first mission, and then it was like we even said like, oh, isn't there like PvP in this? But it hasn't happened yet. And then literally as we said that, it was like, hey, someone's come to kill you. And it's like it's like you're like slouched, like shooting guys in the head, like his head exploded. And then there's that message pops up, and I just sit up in my chair, and I'm like,
mode activated.
Oh fuck, the game is afoot. Yeah, here we go. And it's so, even just knowing the guy could be out there, like he could be 1,000 meters away on the other side of the map, but it's like, but he's there, and he's coming for you.
He's coming for you. He has gone from the main menu and clicked a button for the sole purpose of loading into your game and killing you for no reason.
Yeah,
and I love it.
This is optional, right? You opt into it. Like you opt into people.
You can turn this off. Yeah,
you can.
But so I would argue you shouldn't.
It's opt out. So if you play the game without changing anything, this will be turned on. If you turn it off for whatever reason, maybe you don't want to be interrupted or you're scared or whatever, blah, 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 you're doing yourself a disservice out of the best part of this game.
Yeah.
By far. Yeah, you go.
Well, I was going to say, because we were playing on like hard/realistic almost. And I didn't really feel challenged at any. We were saying as we were playing, this feels like it's a shooter designed with consoles in mind.
Yeah.
Because being able to just very, very accurately shoot guys in the head back to back, as you can with a mouse, it felt almost like cheating. Like the AI doesn't feel smart enough to deal with you.
Yeah.
But the second it's AI and also there's a player harassing you, that was so much fun.
Well,
that was so good.
You say it's for console, but you two are very good at shooters.
I think there's that as well. Yeah.
Like maybe if I played it, it would be a bit more.
Yeah, but what I mean about that is like the AI isn't like dodging your shots or anything. They will sit behind cover, but because you have a sniper rifle, it's like, oh, but I can see the top of his head anyway, and I just click on his head.
Yeah, like a snipe that would take longer to line up on a console pad. You can do really quickly on a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
Still, it probably would take me as long as a console player.
Oh, maybe, but
often.
I don't know. I wasn't really, and this was like realism mode, right? And I was like, I don't feel like I'm really trying here. I was putting down the sniper rifle and picking up like machine guns and stuff, and just headshotting a bunch of Nazis.
Well, we played on the second hardest difficulty, and we were still kind of breezing through it. So we turned it to the hardest. And all the hardest did was turn the HUD off and make it so when you reload, you throw away excess bullets. And I was like, okay, it hasn't made it harder, it's just made it more annoying.
Yeah.
So we went back. I'm not sure how much of it you've played, but since we ended the stream, I've played a lot of the invasion mode.
I think I want to try and because there's like a reward track that's like for up to like 100, is it or something?
It is, yeah. I'm on 30. 100. I'm on 30.
Yeah, I think I want to record every single one of my invasions.
Oh, make like a montage.
1 to 100 montage.
That would be a really good video.
That would be good.
I'm somewhat annoyed that I've already started and can't do that now. Because that's really good.
I'm going to get working on that.
What I will say is I'm 30 invades in. And whereas I think we held our ground quite well when we played together, the invasion feels really easy. I'm not sure what it is.
I did like 8 or 9 at the end of the stream once you'd left, and it's a lot. Like half the time it was find the guy and then kill him, and then half the time it was he's alerted every AI in the map, so all I have to do is follow the gunshots, and then I'll just pop out from like 200 meters away. I'll get some dirty angle. And I'll shoot him in the head, and it's very, very easy as the invader.
I honestly feel like I'm not sure if it's if I'm just somewhat attacking newbies because the game's still quite new. But when we played the game together, every time a real guy jumped in, like you say, we were like game mode activate. Let's start paying attention. He could be anywhere. Whereas a lot of people I've invaded, they just seem to carry on just like picking their nose or whatever and just like standing.
They don't seem to understand there's a player gunning them down.
I've never gotten a rematch after a kill either. Whereas
no, me neither. They all just quit.
When we played, and if the guy killed us or we killed them, I'd always be like, fuck, let's go again. That was really fun. I haven't gotten a single rematch out of any of them.
No.
I've had people actively, after I join, kick me because they don't even want me there.
I had a guy kill himself with his own grenade to get out of the lobby when I joined.
Wow.
Which felt like I was like, oh, okay.
But what I will say, so because I've done nothing, I've done probably like 30 something invasions, low 30s, and I've won 30 of them. I feel very confident. I've got like a 95% plus win streak, and there's a few problems that I find are really annoying that really you start to realize as you play more of it. The biggest problem by far is, as I said, the game is completely playable co-op. But when you invade a match, it won't tell you how many people are playing.
Okay.
I've had times where I've been hunting a player, and I've been using... There are phones dotted around the map that tell you roughly where the opponent is. I've been stalking a player. I've rung the phone. It's told me he's over here. I've gone, crept up to get close to him, and I have been sniped from like hard 180 behind me, like 100 meters plus.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
because their partner is about.
Their partner's about. I didn't know he was there. It wasn't even telling me he was around there. That kind of sucked.
I assume you can't like duo invade.
No, that would be disgusting.
1v2. Yeah, that would be gross.
Well, I mean, no, like if you duo invade, it would only put you against duos. I wonder.
Oh, I see. You can't queue into only twos. No, you can't.
I think that's a good idea, but I doubt the player base will stay big enough to warrant that long term.
Yeah.
The other slightly annoying thing is the more I play, this is more a problem for like the really big maps. But I feel like you should both kind of know roughly where you are for like longer periods of time. I've had periods of time where I've been running like literally in between the guy, not knowing like where he is, which is fine. It is a stealth game, but then I ring the phone and it's like, oh, he's over there. So I kind of go back over there, but he's moved on. He's now across the map, and it's just like, I'm not asking that I should know exactly where he is. I'm saying like we should both roughly know where each other are at all times.
There was that Assassin's Creed multiplayer solved this problem. I don't know why. I think this is in other games, but this solved it for me. Where the further away you are, it'll give you a narrow direction to point in.
Yeah,
and then the closer you get, the direction will slowly widen. Yeah. So it's like, okay, he's within a 45-degree arc in front of you. The closer you get, okay, and then eventually when you're close enough, it's like, okay, we're not telling you. He's near you, but we're not telling you where. Yeah,
it's like we said. There's a phone mechanic where every 5 minutes you can ring a phone to work out a radius of the player's last location. And that player, when you ring the phone, will be told where you are.
Yeah.
And I feel like that should just be on at all times.
It's just a big circle, like maybe updates every minute or something. It just tells you they're roughly here.
Yeah, they're roughly here. And updates every 10 seconds or something. Just so you always roughly know where each other are. The most frustrating games of invasion are the ones that have lasted like 10, 15 minutes of running around. Just like trying to actively find them, but not being able to.
You're not, it's like you want this like tense cat and mouse, but after about 2 minutes of running around, like not finding the guy, you're just like, I don't care. I'm just going to rush him. I'm going to run. Yeah, try and find. And I think that's another problem with the game is the invasions feel like they're trying to set up this like tense, like cat and mouse kind of chase around the map sort of thing. But a lot of times it just ends up like you just run at each other with SMGs and everyone's trying to like hose each other down. Like, I don't know if that's like, the developer has this idea of what they want, but everyone's playing it wrong sort of thing. Like, because that's a couple of my invasions have just been like SMG shootouts in an alleyway.
And a lot of mine have been the same as well. And I feel like that's where if you knew each other, where each other were at all times, if the map's open enough, you couldn't just rush towards them because they're in this direction and coming towards you. So obviously you'd get
you can post up.
You post up. It's got problems, but at the same time, I expected nothing from this game and got a whole lot of fun. So
yeah.
Nothing else to add. I don't think I'm gonna finish it. I don't care about the story or the single player. I'm just playing invasions.
I'd like to see more of the maps. Have you seen any of the maps?
I have. There are some
invading.
Yes.
Do you see? Oh, okay. Because I only got maps that we had played together, so I wondered if there was some mechanic.
Yeah, so there are 9. There are 9 maps, and we did up to number 4. So far through invading, you normally get maps 1, 2, and 3 because people are playing through the game, obviously.
That makes sense.
But I have seen number 7 and I have seen number 9, which is the final mission, I assume, and it's very cool. It's like spoilers, but whatever, is Sniper Elite. It's like a whole like city like burnt down and on fire, and it's really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I don't really have anything to add apart from the maps are it almost feels like a Hitman level. I don't think that they're not quite as intricate, but they get pretty fucking big. There was that one castle based on the like castle out to sea where the tide rises and cuts you off sort of thing, and it was it looked like it was based on that, and it was so dense and so tall that like you could get way up high and just rooftops and rooftops below you, and it looked incredible. I think shocked how good that game looked.
That's the problem with some of the stealth I find, where you say it feels like Hitman, is there's certain parts where there are guards standing around and there's like a gargoyle above them flashing red. Yeah. And if you shoot it and it falls down and kills them. And there's a few little bits like that dotted around. And I kind of like, I feel I can see what you are going for and what you want me to do. But the AI isn't, the game's not hard enough and the AI is not smart enough for me to warrant like doing that. I'm just going to shoot them.
Yes. yeah. It's like, why waste a bullet setting off this elaborate Rube Goldberg-esque machine of like collapsing crates when I can just shoot the man? Yeah.
It's like that mission 3 in this big castle. We climbed to the top to kill the target at the very top. And we just like, I think we kicked the door in and just like sprayed him down with SMGs. yeah. And as I'm going back to that mission doing invasions, in that room, there's like a thing above him you can shoot. There's little peepholes. You can look through cracks in the walls to work out like what they're doing and stuff. Like the AI. And it's like...
So we were playing it wrong.
I know
what you mean.
Yeah, I hate the argument of playing a game wrong. Because you play a game how you play a game. But I know what you mean. It's like, they obviously have some things set up how they want you to play, but it's not quite there.
I feel like they were pushing us to play a certain way, but they weren't enticing me enough, to play that way. It's not like Hitman where I'm like, oh, I can, set up this elaborate series of events to cause an accident to make it look like somebody died, by accident sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, it's more like you can drop a box on a guy and kill him, but you could also just shoot the guy. So why, what's the point? Yeah. And I don't get cool X-rays if I drop the box on him. So
yeah, it's like Hitman will have all the same thing where creep through a door or look through a crack in the wall and you can see what he's doing and drop a box on him, blah 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 blah. But Hitman won't let you kick the door in with an SMG, spray everyone, and just walk away.
Just huck frags all over the place. Exactly.
So it's got I think my takeaway that I keep saying is just, again, it's got problems, but for a game I had no expectations, I'm very happy with it.
It's on Game Pass that I didn't pay for. It's really fun. Especially if you can get a partner and play co-op, it's a really fun game.
I saw a few comments during the stream whilst we were playing, just saying like, "Oh, is this on Game Pass?" I see people just showing interest. Like, I don't want to pay £50 for this, but like, I'll check it out if it's.
Yeah.
That's my game for the week.
Nice.
Has some multiplayer too, but it's not very good.
Not very good. Pass on that. It's just not very fun. The last thing I want to add that I did this week, just very quickly, because I have no clue where else to add it. But we saw Everything, Everywhere, All at Once at the cinema.
Oh yeah.
Just going to throw this out really quickly. I adore that movie. I thought it was brilliant.
I need to go see it. I'm worried it's hyped. Everyone says it though. It can't be that good.
It's really good. A solid cinema experience. It's if you like multiverse stuff or just the idea of multiverses and parallel universe and stuff, and you're just up for a goofy but fun time, it's really good. It's got a few too many fake penises in it. And it made me cry.
Interesting.
And it made me cry twice. So that's my official statement on that movie.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll have to check it out then, maybe.
It's really good. Yeah, I just thought I'd squeeze that in. We can go to the news. Should we see what we've got this week? Let's close this pitch of this lovely Nazi about to get sniped. The first one, which I think is the biggest for the week, is the sequel announced to Star Wars. What was the last one? It was Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, yeah.
I haven't seen the trailer for this, and when I saw Jedi Survivor, I was like, is this like a survival open world game or something?
Thankfully not.
It is not.
I do think it's kind of a weak title though, now that you say it.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I think I'm with you.
It's going to be very... I assume the title's going to be very thematic to the game.
I think they're going off of the old Jedi Outcast. I think they're trying to harken back to that, but yeah, I think it could be better. I liked Fallen Order. That was a really cool title.
Yeah, so Jedi Fallen Order came out. I'll Google this, but what was it? 3 years ago?
Something like that. Yeah.
Fallen Order.
It was 2 houses ago, I think, for me. 1 house ago, something like
that. 2019.
I can't think like that, Will.
2019, so yeah, 2.5 years ago. I really liked that game, Fallen Order. I thought it was. I went in just thinking like it would be like a cool little Star Wars action game, but it was a Metroidvania with just.
I thought it was very promising. I was very excited for Jedi Fallen Order 2 or Jedi Survivor, I guess, when I played through that. I was like, there's so much good groundwork here. I feel like some of it's quite light, but very fun game.
Yeah, and I liked the characters that it introduced as well. I thought they were just some cool new characters in the Star Wars mythos. But yeah, so this has a trailer. There's not really much to go off right now. It's just setting up some world building stuff, I guess. There's like a Sith or a Jedi or something in like a water tank. But yeah, it's been announced. It's coming for 2023. It's
at the moment 2023.
At the moment, yeah, it's just a year. So as in, there's no solid date. It's just here's the year. So who knows? But yeah, current gen only, which is good. I think we're starting to see more stuff now where it's like, yeah, we're into the next generation now.
That's weird for me, considering that they recently made a load of PS4s again because no one could still get hold of a PS5.
I mean, you have to pull the trigger at some point, right?
You do, but you would think it would be when they could get a decent stock of PS5s out, you know?
Or the people that are deciding to make more PS4s are not the people making this game, right?
Yeah.
That's Sony are making PS4s, and then at some point, these game devs are going to be like, no, making games for old consoles is limiting to what we can do.
Yeah.
So they're going to want to start making
old consoles and Switch.
And Switch, of course.
Switch is 2 generations behind.
I hate the Switch so much. I just throw that out there casually. I love my.
It's like a tick, isn't it? Yeah.
I secretly love my Switch. It's got tons of good games for it, but I fucking hate that it looks like Xbox 360 games. But yeah, so coming to PC, Xbox Series X, and PS5, people can finally start. It's like we said, like the fact that it's not going to be for old gen again at this point, PS4 and stuff. People are starting to get good graphics cards and upgrading, and there's nothing that really pushes it yet.
No.
It's like, yeah, you can play Cyberpunk or whatever on the new cards at like 4K, 60 FPS or 100 FPS. But it's like, when stuff going to start coming out that really pushes the current technology?
Oh, no, please don't, because I'm like my little PC can't handle it.
Well, that's a you problem. I want to see cool PS5 games and cool PC games. Because I feel like there's always all these tech demos. What was it like? The Matrix tech demo that Unreal Engine put out, and like all these other ones. Like there's other Unreal Engine showcases.
Yeah, there's a Superman one as well.
Yeah, and it's like, this is great. When a game's going to start actually looking somewhat like this, if it's like saying we can do it, we're just not doing it. So,
well, it's because we've had old gen in mind for a while now, and I think as well, it's just people have realized like that you don't make money by making something super high fidelity. Do you? You make money by making sure everyone can run it,
basically. Yeah. Well, that's all we're waiting for, right? Is for current gen to finally catch up and have enough groundswell to have games only on those platforms, and maybe we're finally going to start seeing it, hopefully. But yeah, coming off of that, you've got this next news story which ties into it somewhat. Is the PS5 game Returnal is looking like it's going to come to PC. This is still a rumor as of right now, I believe. This was there's an Nvidia leak from a long time ago that basically listed a whole bunch of games coming out and coming to PC, and this was one of them. And as time passes, games are starting to be announced from that list, and this was one of them. So you said you really wanted to play this, didn't you, Will?
I did really want to play this. This is like in the awkward category where it's an indie game, so I'm not going to buy a PS5 for it. But also, I really want to play it, and I can't.
Yeah. So I played this game. I think I streamed it.
Yeah, I watched you play some. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely streamed it.
It looked very fun.
It's very fun. I was saying to you the other day, the biggest problem with it is just the controls.
Yeah.
which it's on PS5. So it's like, what are you going to do? You have to use a DualShock.
Yeah.
I will definitely 100% play this again on PC.
This is a game that I'd be like, if it's on Game Pass, I might give it a shout. Like a little look at. But if not, I'll watch. I don't mind watching someone play it. But it's not.
This was the game that did. I think it did really well off of word of mouth, because it came out during a time where there weren't a lot of PS5 games, really. And it came out, and then a game comes out of nowhere called Returnal that costs 70 quid, and people are like, pass.
Well,
but then it's really good. It's really good. So
yeah, some of the trailers were intriguing for this game, but it had that. For me, the problem, it looks like it's always just like in dark caves constantly.
No,
anything I've seen in this game, it looks like it's in a dark cave.
So I got far enough in to know that there are multiple biomes. So it's not all dark blue like caves. There is there's like canyons that are orangey and more more vibrant colours. But I think the more people that can play this game, the better, because this game is really fun. It's a roguelike, basically. It's a third-person roguelike with just like solid graphics, combat, bosses, music. Everything's just really good.
Was this you said this was a full price game?
It's a full price game, yeah.
Oh, I am shocked.
Yeah, so were a lot of people. This was
I just assumed this was like a $15-20
roguelike. No. This was a full price game.
Oh, wow.
It's
okay.
a solid box copy. When this comes out, if and when to PC, expect a 50 quid price tag.
Wait for it to go on Game Pass.
No, it's a Sony game. No way. This is like it's not Sony didn't make it, but this feels like in there like Horizon or God of War is coming to PC.
It'll be on Steam.
Yeah.
It won't be on Game Pass.
Yeah, it feels like that. Yeah.
Well, you say Steam. Will it be Epic or will it be Steam?
Oh, let me go get my crystal ball.
I don't know. It could be either.
Because I'm going to guess it's going to be Epic exclusive.
No, I think it'll be Steam. It'll just be Steam. It'll be another.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Oh no, I was just going to say. I was going to see who made it. It's the reason again people weren't too sure on it when it first came out is I don't think it's a massive developer. House Marquee.
Oh, Housemarque. Oh, they make a bunch of stuff like this.
Or again, I hope this is right. I'm going from memory. I think after Returnal did as well as it did, Sony purchased Housemarque. Let's have a look.
I don't remember. They make a lot of like retro-y, bullet-y hell kind of games.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, here we go. So I'm on the Wikipedia for Housemarque now. Talking about Returnal, exclusively on PS5 in April 2021. Like peak Corona time. Blah blah blah. Sold so many copies. Returnal's commercial performance and Housemarque's increased collaboration with Sony Entertainment for this game led to the latter to be acquired by. Sony acquired the studio in June of that year, becoming part of SIE Worldwide Studios. So yeah, the company is now owned by Sony or part of Sony. So there's no. Yeah, it'll be like I said. It'll be like Horizon or God of War.
Definitely one to keep an eye on, but as per usual with all PC ports, maybe wait a day or two to see the port reviews.
Yeah. It's. I think the big thing I remember about this game is that it came out, and like I said, it's full-priced box game. People like whatever, and then I remember all the reviews being like, "Yeah, shit's amazing, 10 out of 10. Shit's brilliant, 9 out of 10." And I was like, "What is this game? Why is it so good?"
Yeah.
That's what you love to see, right? Random game out of nowhere is just, oh, by the way, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You have no expectations, and suddenly you've got something amazing to play the very next day.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, so that's that one.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is. This was about TF2, so Team Fortress 2, not Titanfall 2. So Team Fortress 2 community bands together for a peaceful protest to #save Team Fortress 2. What do you three know about this?
I have seen a bunch on Twitter I'm not entirely. I've heard there's bot problems with TF2, but not much otherwise. I'm just like, oh, people like save TF2, and I'm like, did that game not die as soon as Overwatch came out?
Well, what about you, Sam? You said
so. I don't know like too much in depth about it, but I know it's basically just riddled with bots.
Yeah.
And a couple of the people I watched, like Jerma and Stir, who were very big TF2 people back in the day. I've been watching them play it, and it's it's heartbreaking.
I think for the state that TF2 is in now, it's important to emphasize how massive TF2 was during its heyday.
Yes. Yeah.
It was one of the like highest played games on Steam at the time, and it still has thousands of players today, even with its terrible bot problem.
I was gonna say, before Overwatch, this was like, unless you were going for like the realistic shooter, this was the shooter that was that everyone played.
I'd also like to point out, it was said that Overwatch would be the game to kill TF2 because it was supposed to be TF2 but better, and just wasn't.
Well, it turns out that there was space for both. It's
I think that's it. Yeah, they were different enough. Yeah.
Like,
the biggest issue TF2 had was Overwatch then had obviously because it was new, meant that it was getting patches, there's new content and stuff, whereas TF2 was just old TF2.
Yeah, I was gonna say Overwatch had like a lot of hype, and like I used to hear about TF2 quite a bit, and ever since Overwatch came out, not a single thing other than like this save TF2 movement. So,
or when Overwatch came out, TF2 wasn't on the way out, but TF2 had its heyday, right?
It was on the way out.
It was done. It already had a ton of expansions and patches and content. And Overwatch again didn't really take the spotlight away from it. It was already done, I feel anyway. But yeah, I think it's like saying there's room for both. TF2 is what do you call them, like not class-based shooters, but what's the term for like an Overwatch type game? It's like a
Overwatch like
hero shooter.
Heroes, that's what I'm looking for. Hero shooter. That's what I'm looking for. They didn't really exist. You had Team Fortress 2, which was big and popular, but no one else was really doing it.
Yeah.
And then Overwatch came out and then brought with it more of that kind of thing and loot boxes and blah 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 blah. Don't really know what point I'm going with that. Basically, there was like space for both, and TF2 still existed. It was still happy, but like I said, it's got to this point where the reason this whole hashtag is going is because the game has so many bots that are in servers, queuing up, playing, pretending to play, standing around doing nothing, for the sole purpose of idling for hats and things to sell on the Steam marketplace.
Yeah.
That's
what
the
a uniquely Valve problem. That is.
Have commented on
a
this.
Weird game.
Like, have Valve put out like a statement, like, "Oh, we recognise it. We'll try to do better." Or
they have, yeah. So this protest happened on the 26th, which as of recording this is the 29th. But this was 3 days ago. If I bring back up the old page, there was a reply from Valve. Valve, or the official @Team Fortress Twitter. TF2 community, we hear you. We love this game and know you do too. We see how large this issue has become and are working to improve things. That's it. Okay. That's it as of right now.
It'd be nice with a little bit more communication, but it's still early days.
It's still early days. Hopefully they do something. It's one thing to say something, and another thing to actually do something. Because this ties into another news story, which we'll go into more in a minute, but it's about From Software and the Dark Souls servers, which again we'll get into in a second. But I hope it's a part of me, because Team Fortress 2 is such a massive part of not my childhood, but like my teenage years.
Yeah,
it's so sad to see it like in this state.
Nothing to this day has still replaced the amount of fun I had just loading up.
Yeah.
And just going on TF2, and you'd have like 6 to 8 of your mates, but you're in a public server, so everything's going fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like nothing has replaced that like chaos
It's weird, right? I feel like if Valve, because I think this speaks to like the problem with how Valve apparently runs, right? Which is like people just work on what they want, right?
Yeah.
And so everyone has moved on to new things. Presumably sitting around counting money. I guess that's all that Valve seems to do right now, or making bad card games.
Or you're not wrong. Don't know why I'm.
I was waiting for Sam to jump in there.
Good card game, monetized badly.
I'm not talking about Artifact.
Oh shit! What was I gonna? I derailed myself with that joke. But I feel like properly managed, TF2 would be a household name. You know, we would be talking about like the Scout alongside like Mario or something. Maybe not like that big.
The Scout should be in like Smash Bros or something.
No. Yeah, he should. Well, they should. Those characters should have that level of like status. But I feel like Valve just one day dropped.
Yeah,
they just decided they were done with it, and it's like the crowd is still there. People still want to play this game, and for whatever reason, Valve don't want to work on it.
I kind of, again, going back to the whole thing, I don't know if Valve still runs like that way, but if they do, which is what you were describing, which is just everyone works on whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
There might be like a really tiny team on TF2, and all of them are just like, I'm not tackling this bot problem. No. Everyone, you can see that, the car crash in the window, and they're like, nah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just something they don't want to tackle or something. Yeah.
I have a similar thing to Sam, which is there's a period of my life, I think it's like 15 to 17 in age, where every day after school and college was literally like 4 hours of Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
I never had that.
I remember going to I would go out with friends and we would sit in the pub and talk about TF2, and then after we'd be there for an hour, and then we'd be like, why don't we let's all just go to our homes and play TF2.
It was such a at least for me, it was such a pure time of games as well. There were no bars, there were no XPs, there were no ranks. You just booted it because it was fun. I sound like such an old man saying this, but you know what I mean. It's like
No, I know. There was no battle pass. There was no there was no ranks or anything. You just literally would just boot into servers and just play TF2
you booted in and you were like, I feel like playing Pyro, and then you ran around as Pyro, or it's like, I feel like sniping, so I'm going to just get some sick headshots.
Yeah.
I remember because I hadn't bought anything, and then it's obviously different weapons do different stuff.
Yeah.
And then who I played that week was entirely dependent on what drop I had got.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, now when I'm the spy, I go invisible instead of turning into someone.
Yeah. Or back when it first, so it's all different now. You can unlock and buy different guns and this, that, and the other, and equipments and stuff. But when they were doing the original updates, they would do a big update based on a single class, and they would add 1 or 2 community maps. They would basically give them the official word, be like, we love these maps, they're now in official servers. They would drop I can't remember how many, maybe 20 new achievements based around that class.
Yeah, and you had to get a certain amount of achievements to get the new weapons. Yeah.
And again, that was the closest thing that game had to progression.
That was fun too. Yeah. Oh my god.
And whenever they did a new update based on a class, you'd get a new video, a YouTube video, meet the scout, meet the demo man.
It feels like if a couple years before we have these forever game live service models, right? If TF2 had come out just 2 or 3 years later, it would still be a thing right now, But I feel like at some point Valve just called an end to it. They were like, we supported the shit out of this game for years. Yeah.
Well, the equivalent of that today, say if TF2 launched today with that model, the way they used to do patches and they would drop all the achievements and stuff, that would straight up be a battle pass.
Probably.
It would just be here's a battle pass. As you play through it, you get the new weapons. Here are some hats on the battle pass.
Yeah.
But Very, very fond memories of Team Fortress 2. Just this is kind of around the same time. I remember, I think was, at least for me, it was like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Oh yeah.
Just that on PC as well. Just really good, a really nice pure time for PC shooters. Again, Modern Warfare had the ranking obviously, but when it had DLC maps, it was just here's 3 maps, buy them, whatever. Now go play more online.
It came out in the same year.
Oh really?
It was all 2007. Yeah.
I think I've heard that before. Is it?
Because that was Halo as well, wasn't it?
I was going to say, I think
year for gaming.
2007 is the year of gaming, where so many things came out. I think Mass Effect came out that year as well.
2007 was Mario Galaxy, BioShock, Assassin's Creed, Uncharted, Call of Duty 4, Mass Effect.
Here it is.
Portal.
I've got it on screen. Let's bring this up. So yeah, you found it. I assume it's the same one. So many good games. Mario Galaxy, COD 4, Skate, Metroid Prime 3, World of Warcraft Burning Crusade, Assassin's Creed, Uncharted, Pokemon Diamond. It's just
Pokemon Diamond, yeah.
Yeah, just
BioShock and Mass Effect. Yeah. Fucking hell, mate.
Yeah, and the whole Team Fortress 2 thing wasn't just Team Fortress 2, was it? They just fucking dropped
it was the orange box. Yeah.
Probably one of the greatest combinations of games at that time. Here's Team Fortress 2, awesome multiplayer game. Here's Portal, which will be ingrained in pop culture for the next fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
And here's
the end of Half-Life.
And the end of Half-Life 2.
the definitive end to the story of Half-Life, yeah.
As far as I know, I refuse to buy VR just to play Alex. Which is apparently...
I like someone optimistically threw that JRPG in there, look, in the bottom right.
Eternal Sonata was good.
Eternal Sonata, yeah.
It was okay.
Okay.
You said that, and I looked at Zelda, and I was like, "That's a fucking pop shot." God damn!
You ever played MotorStorm?
I played a MotorStorm on PS Vita. I'm one of the 7 people to have played MotorStorm on PS Vita, and it was very good. But no, I've never played an actual MotorStorm game. I've heard they're great.
They're really good. I think it's like a dead series now.
Wasn't there one where you could make your car explode and then you would go faster for a bit so you could explode over the finish line?
Yeah, there was MotorStorm. I think it was called Tropical something.
Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, that's the one. That Donkey Kong. Oh yeah, it's good when you type in MotorStorm and all the videos are YouTube essays. What happened to MotorStorm? Pacific Rift. Wait, isn't that a mech movie? Oh fuck it, I'm getting so off topic.
Guillermo del Toro's MotorStorm Pacific Rift.
Christ, I'm so lost. Where am I? Right, that's that one. And yeah, coming off that, which ties in very well, is you may or may not know, Dark Souls PvP servers have just been offline. Yeah, just been offline on PC for like 4 months. Don't get excited yet.
Oh. I was going to say, because I stopped playing Dark Souls because Elden Ring came out, and I was like, well, I do want to finish the original Dark Souls, but it feels like I'm missing half the experience after Elden Ring, where I'm like, oh, I kind of want to wait till the PvP servers are back up.
Yeah, so. What's the point if there's no PvP and there's no invading and there's no, what do you call it? Not notes, messages and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this feels like, again, not a bit further ahead than the Valve one, but they haven't done it yet. We are currently in the process of restoring the online service for Dark Souls series on PC. We plan to restore online service for each game progressively, bringing back service for Dark Souls 3 once we complete the necessary work to correct the problem.
Because this
was it all Dark Souls? I thought it was just Dark Souls 1.
No, it's all Dark Souls.
It's 1, 2, and 3, yeah.
Yeah. The problem was originally is that there was a exploit where people could, if they invade you, they could hack your PC and could completely destroy your PC basically.
It was bad. It was really bad.
So they said, oh, we're going to take them down because Elden Ring was coming out and they're like, we're going to fix it for Elden Ring. So they did it for Elden Ring and people were like, okay. and Elden Ring was popular at the start, so of course they were like, it's already online servers are a bit iffy for Elden Ring, so assume they wanted to wait till it calmed down. But it's been calm for a little while now, I would say.
Oh, we were talking about this.
Still waiting.
Before Elden Ring came out. We were talking about this, saying, "Is this gonna somehow mess with Elden Ring?"
Yeah.
Because obviously you don't know how Elden Ring works. Maybe it has similar network communications. Obviously it didn't. Elden Ring came out and it's the game of the millennia, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Whether or not you believe that, that's what it's going to be voted for this year in the Game Awards. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all 3 games have been down for 4 months, and they're finally putting out official comment, basically saying, like, yeah, we're actively doing it, it'll be back as soon as possible. So I think they've been quiet for a very long time, which is what everyone was annoyed about. I'm quite lucky. I think I finished Dark Souls 3, I think literally like a month or 2 before this problem.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you remember, I think some of you were watching, I streamed some of it. Because there was one day I just fancied playing Dark Souls 3 and did it. And then this happened. And
don't get excited, people who meant a Discord stream, not a Twitch stream.
yeah, it was no Twitch stream. But yeah, do any of you like feel like going back and playing any of these, or are you done?
I was gifted Dark Souls 1 by a friend, and I was said oh, he was told to stream it, so I'm waiting for Dark Souls 1 to be back online for the online, because after playing Elden Ring I was like, I'm missing out doing this in offline mode.
Yeah.
So I've been waiting for that. Actually, when it happens, I might restart Dark Souls 1, because I feel like, again, I missed out and I know a lot more now about the series.
You weren't that far in, right?
I was in Blighttown.
Yeah, you're only at Blighttown.
Blighttown's like nowhere.
I thought that was halfway through.
No,
mate.
Congrats, you're like a fifth of the way through the game.
Oh, I remember. Actually, now it's coming back to me how painful some of it wasn't the bosses. The bosses I was one-shotting. It was the getting in between the bosses that was the pain. Oh god.
No, you do get to a point in Dark Souls where you can eventually teleport around. So that's not.
Yeah.
If that's your biggest problem.
I hadn't gotten there yet, and it was just getting to each place. But I'm excited for the online service to come back, especially since they said it's a little while away and it's not going to be this week.
Yeah, there's the bit where you can start teleporting around, and you kind of work out the win condition for Dark Souls is when you realize how massive it actually is.
Yeah,
because you're like, oh god, you want me to do what?
Well, but then Steve's coming at it from having played and finished Elden Ring.
No, I've not finished yet.
You never finished Elden Ring.
I've still got a bit to do still.
Dark Souls is big, but it's not Elden Ring. It's not Elden Ring.
It's not Elden Ring.
Yeah.
How far did you get with Elden Ring?
I finished the big tree dungeon, and that's where I'm at roughly.
You're not that far from the end.
People have said I'm not that far. Other than optional side stuff, I could beeline the end.
You could, yeah.
It's just it's now I just have games to play, and it means turning on Elden Ring. But I do need to finish it. Every single time I've turned it on, I have enjoyed it.
Elden Ring, so
yeah, I don't blame you. There was I did enjoy Elden Ring, but there was a point where I think it was the night I finished it. I thought to myself, if I don't finish this tonight, I'm done. I just can't. Just not really enjoying it anymore. I don't know why.
I think it's because everyone was playing Elden Ring. Everyone was kind of marathoning it because they're like, "Well, I don't want spoilers." So people kind of burned out.
I tell you that I didn't. Not it.
Yeah, but you were also playing with people, so it's kind of you had to do everything. You were playing the game 3 times in one go.
But again, I wasn't because they had already completed it on other characters. A lot of the times they were like, "Well, there's nothing hero wants, so we'll just do it another time." But my issue with the game was it was just Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I think Elden Ring was content overload. Looking back on it, I legit think there's not too much content, but you could strip out a lot of it, and my opinion of the game wouldn't change.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Or it would get better.
Possibly, yeah. I feel like myself looking at Elden Ring and what I want from it, you could keep stripping away stuff, and I'd be like, a little more, a little more, and until it just looks like a Dark Souls game, and it's not open world anymore. And I'm like, perfect.
Well, that's why we've been watching a friend of ours play through Bloodborne, and watching that back, I'm like, I just remember how like, every area feels so tight and well designed, you know.
Yeah.
I want to play Bloodborne. They need to put Bloodborne on PC.
And then
servers, and then I'll play that.
I know you're listening, Bluntcast. Talking about you.
Yeah, shout out to Bluntcast.
Shout out to Bluntcast.
Bluntcast is great.
He's great.
What's it called? Although, I do think if Bloodborne was on PC, it would do so well. It's baffling why it's not.
But, money's right there, Sony. You just have to give it. You just have to take it.
I think
one of those.
I said this I just threw it out in one of Bluntcast's streams in chat. We were talking about it. I think that only one thing makes sense to me: the fact that it's not everywhere. Is that it's just spaghetti code.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I think nobody wants to do the work. FromSoft don't want to do the work.
I think I read somewhere that Red Dead Redemption was the same, in that where it was
never came to PC.
Yeah, it was on Xbox 360 and PS3, and people were like, "Why is this not on PC? Why is this not getting a remaster? Why is this? It's amazing. Why can't we play it anywhere else?" And it's just because it's a miracle that game even runs on consoles.
I've heard that as well. Yeah.
So, and that's just how it is sometimes with like game development. You do everything you can just to hit a deadline and get it out there. You don't think about porting it to PC 2 years later. You have to just get it working. And like Bloodborne, comparatively to all the other Souls games, I think it's the worst running one. It's like a locked 30 FPS that kind of runs a bit all over the place.
At this point, though, I feel like Bloodborne coming to PC, probably the only thing that could, if it was coming out this year, it's probably the only thing that could maybe overtake Elden Ring, and that's even like, if they like remastered it and like gave it a new title or whatever.
I don't know if it's like meme status though. Do you know what I mean?
It looks pretty good.
Following.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
that's right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those things everyone's shouting for it, and then it comes out and it does okay.
It sells like 400 copies. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
It's like where are all the people that were shouting about it? It's like they were just on Twitter shouting about it.
Yeah, it's like me and everyone I know would love Bloodborne on PC, but I do hang out with a lot of people who like Souls games.
Well,
so
I think I think after Elden Ring, if they were to do Bloodborne, Elden Ring's hype could maybe carry over to more sales than it would otherwise get.
Yeah, I think
maybe.
Well, obviously, Elden Ring doing as well as it has is nothing but good for the Souls series in general. People are now going to be more exposed to this game that they haven't in the past. Do you think about I don't have the exact numbers, obviously, but think of how much each Souls game sold, and then think about how much Elden Ring sold.
Yeah.
And you can make the assumption that for every sale over whatever the highest selling game before was, say Dark Souls 3, is a new player that has never played a Souls game before, probably. Maybe
that's why they're staggering the release of the server fixes, is to be like, oh, Dark Souls 3 is finally fixed. News article about it. Go play Dark Souls 3.
No way. This is nothing but bad news.
No. I played the original port of Dark Souls 1 to PC. I can fully believe that people can take over your PC by invading you in Dark Souls. I 100% believe them on that.
One guy made a whole career fixing Dark Souls 1 on PC.
There was that mod. So it was the first time using that was actually able to play multiplayer without any fucking issues.
It was his name was Durante.
Yeah, his DS fix.
Yeah, DS fix. Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff about just ladders and stuff in the PC version of Dark Souls was just broken.
And have they patched the game now to fix all of those?
The game is still broken on because when I streamed it with Aaron, because I was like, Aaron, I'm going to show Aaron Dark Souls, and I completely forgot that the port is just absolute jank when you boot it up without DS fix for the first time.
I didn't play with DS fix, and it seems
you're playing the Dark Souls remastered.
Okay, and that one's fixed. Okay, good.
Yeah. When I said the guy made a whole career, he literally made a whole career. So the guy was he went by the alias Durante, but his name was Peter Tommen. He fixed most of the Dark Souls games through patches, and he's now created a studio dedicated to like fixing games and engineering.
Just patching your game post-launch? That's weird.
It's so
good
bizarre.
for him, I guess.
I think, like I say, he got a lot of groundswell off of fixing.
I can imagine. Yeah,
one of the most loved games of all time.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm at this point where I'm like, oh, this game is just Dark Souls, but Dark Souls 1 is like, I love that game. Yeah. And it's because I've played that too much that I'm just like, oh, well, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3 is just another coat of paint. I've played it too much already.
Dark Souls 1, when it came out, was special. I revisited it not too long ago and didn't think it was too hot anymore. But at the time, it was great.
I think it's just because it's been played and done to death.
I think it's that.
You go and play it now, and it's just it.
But it's that, and you play Dark Souls 2 and 3 and Sekiro and blah blah, blah, and you see little jumps in quality of life that you don't notice until you go back to the first one, and you're like, oh, this is garbage.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Dark Souls stuff. I'll push us along from that. There's not a whole lot left. Next one's really quick. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which is a really stupid name because it already exists.
I'm glad we're sticking with it.
We're sticking with it. I think it's just called Modern Warfare 2. Has a release date of October 28th.
That's a while away. Let's see if it comes out that time.
I don't have much to say on this. I'm really excited for this. I think.
Don't you think like it's kind of weird when they announce Call of Duty release dates because there's one every year and they always come out around October. So they're like, it's October again. It's like, cool.
It's COD season.
Oh, that was a good.
But yeah, excited for that. Other than that, the last news story was something Steve posted.
I just saw it and I was like, oh, it's kind of interesting, but then it's also...
Well, all the fun that comes with when you post something is you posted it, you're going to talk about it. So what is it, Steve?
Oh, well, this is basically the 10 most played games of 2022 in the US. And I was just like, oh, that might be interesting. Looked at the game list, it's like, oh, nothing really surprising there.
Should we try and get? Have you looked at it, you two? Should we try and guess?
I've not even. How do I? This sounds so bad. Where is the list? I've just scanned.
it's
okay. So it's Fortnite, Minecraft. Right.
Yeah.
Have you read the list?
Why can't I find the list? Am I being? Is this?
Is there a button? There's a button.
It's got Naruto.
Yeah, look, there you go. Naruto. Who's the weakest?
Who's the weakest Hokage? Read next.
Hokage.
You've got.
Okay, no, I've got it here. Okay, so I'll read the list out for you guys. If you want.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm reading this article now from Josh.
Yeah.
Who was the weakest Hokage?
This is based in the year of release, so it doesn't really say what the order is.
Tsunade wasn't that weak.
But it was it's Minecraft, Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Wait, I thought we were guessing.
No.
No, carry on going.
The Sims 4, Fortnite, Among Us, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Call of Duty Warzone, Madden NFL 22, Call of Duty Vanguard, and NBA 2K22. So nothing super shocking there.
Shocking list.
But yeah, it's just like it's kind of just a little bit interesting, like to be like, oh, in the US, those are the top games. Like, there's no like League of Legends or Valorant or any of that,
Well, what are they tracking or basing that off though?
This is sourced the NPD's group player pulse. I don't know.
I'm going down. For anyone that can't see, I'm going down some really deep Naruto rabbit hole here. I don't even know where I am anymore.
Apparently,
Elden Ring.
Apparently, Elden Ring was ranked 20th. Ahead of it were games like Rocket League, World of Warcraft, and Skyrim, as well. So, Skyrim was one in 2022. Skyrim was still top 20.
That's
when you shove it on enough platforms.
I was just thinking that. Yeah,
I'm sure I still have a copy of Skyrim running somewhere, maybe on my fridge or something.
I was going to say I can't even open my microwave without it booting Skyrim. That counts as playtime, right?
I just thought that was just
I switch my kettle on in the morning and it goes, "Oh, you're finally awake."
That's really good. That's really good.
Thank you.
Reel that one in. We'll give you that one.
Yeah.
But that was just like I thought a little interesting tidbit for maybe the end.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to end without talking about how Naruto Uzumaki gained the 3 Kekai Genkai.
Can I just do releases?
Go on then. Although I want to allow me to zoom in on a picture of Naruto though.
Oh god.
Go on.
Hey, so we've got a couple interesting releases. Well, potentially interesting. On June 1st, there is a game called Leap coming out, which I believe was on PS4 and PS5. Doing a little bit of research into it, but it is a shooter. Can you, Josh? Can you just maybe get the release up instead? Because me explaining this game is not going to do it too much justice.
What's it called? Leap.
Leap. Leap. Apparently, it says it's going to be early access on Steam, but it apparently came out on PS4 and PS5 like 3 years ago. It's like a 60-player shooter, so it looks very interesting.
Looks like Destiny.
Kind of, but it's pure PvP, I believe, and there's like a lot of movement. And it looked like if it's like a free-to-play shooter, which I'm hoping it is, it might be an interesting little play.
I'm not going crazy, right? This looks almost exactly like Destiny 2.
Wait, Blue Isle, isn't this PUBG?
Blue Isle
completely wrong.
They made
who made PUBG?
Slender: The Arrival.
Okay, I was completely wrong.
PUBG is, I think they're just called the PUBG company now, but let's have a look.
Didn't he make his own studio called Blue something? Blue Hole. They're called Blue Hole.
Oh, that was it, yeah. And what was this one? Blue Isle.
Blue Isle. Yeah, my bad. Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
This game comes out PUBG on June 1st, and it just looks like looks like an interesting shooter. Like if it's cheap or free to play, might be something that everyone can have just download and have fun. You know, like watching some of the videos, it does look like it's got a lot of interesting.
You can play it for us, Steve, and find out.
Yeah, I'll report back next week.
I ain't playing it.
Next on June 2nd, there's a game that looks sort of interesting called Soldiers, but it's SOUL. It's pixel art. It's a 2D side-scrolling platformer, but the pixel art and the bosses looked really interesting. Like apparently, you play several different there's several different classes, and it just looked like a nice 2D platformer. But
it looks nice enough.
The bosses looked really watching the video. The bosses looked better in motion.
Okay.
But there's that one, and then there's the big release, which is also on June 2nd, which is Diablo Immortal.
Oh hell yeah!
Easy.
By hell yeah, I mean it'll be okay. I'll play it.
I mean, I feel like it's a game that everyone's going to try. Realize it's not as this Diablo 3 is better, but we'll have to see.
What is June 2nd? Is that Friday? Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
Oh, it's
Diablo. Apparently, there's going to be servers, so you might have to decide with your friends what server you're going to play on beforehand. But
I'm not doing that. I'll just play.
It's free to play. It's on PC and mobile.
You can't get me to play Diablo 3 again.
We fucking will, Sam.
No.
No, I look at Diablo Immortal and I cannot get excited.
I was not excited until they were like, "Oh, we're putting it on PC," and I'm like, "It looks bad, but I'll still download it and give it a little try." You know.
I saw as well they're doing they did a poster or something, like a picture that said what time all the servers open, and my brain just goes to that's when to avoid trying to play. Because what's that GIF of all the guinea pigs behind the little wall, and the wall lifts up and they all charge through and get stuck? It's just that.
Blizzard games haven't been that bad. They before, I think they've got some server issues down. I think I can't remember Shadowlands, Maybe that had some problems. I can't remember.
Shadowlands was
Well,
awful.
Diablo
Legion-
3 specifically was awful.
Legion was the only WoW expansion that was actually reasonably smooth.
Didn't Diablo 3 die for like a week?
Yeah.
And you literally
you couldn't even play as single player because you
play,
had to be connected. Yeah.
What else was there? There was that, and it wasn't Blizzard, but didn't like Sim City or something on PC come out?
That's a whole saga. Yeah.
And you just couldn't play it because of server issues, and it was online. And it's like, why can't I play Sim City? It's a Sim City game. Yeah, Diablo Immortal. I'm still putting money down on it'll just be Diablo 3.
Yeah, same. I don't have the highest of hopes, but I'm like, there's nothing else coming out. Might be like this will have some money but put behind it.
No, I'm seriously going all in on that. It is just levels ripped from Diablo 3.
Even that, I mean, that art is...
It's Diablo 3.
Diablo 3.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I'm excited, mostly just to see what this actually is.
If Diablo Immortal starts and it's nighttime and you're on that ridge and you go into that first town,
Deckard Cain's giving me a lecture,
and Deckard Cain is there, I'm turning it off. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
It'll boot up and it'll be welcome to Diablo Immortal.
Text to speech, man.
Mobile game, so it should be a games as service. So.
Oh, you're saying all the right words, Steve.
I mean, I think we've already seen that the monetization is bad for this.
Monetization in every game is just getting worse and worse, though. And I know I should accept it, but I just am at the moment.
Yeah.
This feels like it should come out after Diablo 4. You know what I mean? They should release Diablo 4, have it be somewhat decent.
Well, Diablo 4 got delayed by a long margin, and this was already
Has this game not been delayed?
Maybe
because you know the joke of like, don't you guys have phones?
That was years ago now, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, how long has this game been? Like, have we been waiting for this game?
I don't
because
think
I've always forgotten that.
Yeah, I don't think I ever remember it being like delayed. I just think they never ever said a release date.
Yeah,
they just said we're making this. See you in like 10 years.
They climbed into a hole for a bit.
Yeah, they were like, we're not talking about this game. Diablo. The next year it was like Diablo 4.
Yeah,
they're like, we're not mentioning Diablo Immortal. Really.
They announced Diablo Immortal. Everyone booed, and they were like, oh well, fuck you guys. See you in 6 years.
Yeah,
we were gonna drop it at the end of the show, but you guys can't be nice.
They were really frustrated after the bad reception.
Diablo 3.
They were all really frustrated, so they had to go harass some women for a bit to. Calm down.
God! Oh god! What an ending.
And I will say we do have a bunch of like gay stuff coming out. Like on June 2nd we got the PlayStation State of Play, and 16th I think we've got like a Microsoft one. So next couple of weeks we should have a bunch of announcements to talk about as well.
Yeah, I didn't mention that this week as a news story because it's like, here's a State of Play. Hasn't happened yet. But there should be lots of good stuff that comes from that. They've said it's going to be lots of just new stuff. So
yeah, Tuesday, the day this is coming out, the podcast is coming out, there will be a State of Play. It probably I'm not sure what time, but there'll be a State of Play that day. So maybe watch it live. You know, might sit in a Discord call.
With all these shows coming up, we could all get together.
I was just thinking that
maybe watch it together or something. The four of us.
Not promising anything on podcast, but maybe we'll see if we can arrange something.
It's confirmed now.
That would be fun.
Shut the fuck up, Steve.
Yeah, Josh said it.
All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you for listening, everybody. As always, my name is BottlerWorks, and you can find me on Twitch and Twitter under that same name. What about you, Will?
Hello, I'm Olive_Meister, or some variation of that. You can find me everywhere.
Yeah, make sure you follow him because he gets upset that he gets no traction from these podcasts.
Yeah, it's bad. I've heard people are all following Josh and not me. What's up with that?
Because I'm cool as shit, boy. How about you, Steve? Where can we find you?
Fair. I'd follow you too.
I'm Sam, just Sam.
Okay, and then where can we find you, Sam? Great.
You can't.
Have a good week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.